So I'm often asked by my clients who are charged with some type of a domestic violence case, what am I looking at? What are the possible penalties? This jurisdiction, especially El Paso County, is a very aggressive jurisdiction in charging folks with domestic violence related cases. The days of the police being called out for a domestic violence allegation and just giving the parties a warning and then leaving, those are over. Now, virtually every single time that the police receive a domestic violence related allegation, someone's getting arrested. Once they are arrested, usually they're put in jail for a 72-hour cooling off period. During that period of time, they can't bond out. So the immediate effect is very dramatic. And once they're let out of jail, normally that defendant can't go back home. So there's an automatic restraining order that's been placed on them. So the approach that the Colorado State Legislature now has for these types of crimes is a very serious one and a very harsh one. What our goal always is in domestic violence cases is to ensure that there's no long-term impact for our client. For instance, one of the repercussions is that if you're convicted of a domestic violence related charge, you forfeit your ability to own a firearm of any kind. You can't hunt with it, you can't carry it for your job. Certainly a problem if you're, let's say, a security guard or a military member. It may or may not affect your ability to find work. It may or may not affect your ability, again, to exercise the rights that we take for granted, especially if it's felony. So what our goal in these types of cases always is to minimize the damage, and normally what that translates to is no additional jail. So once that mandatory 72 hours of incarceration is up, no additional jail time. And secondly, limiting what goes on our client's permanent criminal history to ensure that ultimately not only is the case dismissed, but that also we come back in and ask that their case be sealed. The reason why that's important is that it precludes a potential job applicant from having to state that they even had contact with the authorities concerning that earlier case. So it puts them back in the situation that they were before they were ever charged with the crime.